Hello, my name is Robert French, and I'm the founder of RF Ministries and the pastor of Balanced Life Christian Fellowship in St. Charles, Missouri.
Welcome to today's episode of Daily Bread.
Hello, this is Pastor French welcoming you to another segment of Daily Bread. It is my sincere desire that you prosper in your life as you follow Jesus and be effective in sharing his message with an ever-increasing needy world. Last time I shared the tragic story about two young girls who were plotting to kill fellow classmates in their school. I remarked that it wasn't as rare an incident as we might think, that younger children are committing violent acts. For example, here's another story that happened on November 5th about this kind of violence ending in tragedy. I want to read you part of a news story as reported by Christine Hauser in the New York Times dated November 6, 2018. All day on Saturday, Yvonne Woodward and Doyle W. Herbert tried to get their 11-year-old grandson to clean up his room at their home in Litchfield Park, Arizona, about 20 miles northwest of Phoenix. Late that afternoon, the couple, who had custody of the child, sat down in their living room to watch television, the authorities said. Then, according to a statement from Sergeant Joaquin Enriquez, a spokesman for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, the boy, whose name was not released, picked up Mr. Herbert's handgun, came up behind the couple, and fatally shot his grandmother in the back of the head. Mr. Herbert said he ran after his grandson, but then returned to his wife to try to give her first aid. Seconds later, Doyle heard another gunshot and saw the grandson take a few steps and then collapse to the ground. The grandson had shot himself, the statement said, and the boy later died. Paul, writing about the last part of the age, addresses the very problems we are seeing proliferating in the world today. In his letter to the Romans, chapter 1, beginning at verse 28, he wrote, quote, "And since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, God gave them up to a debased mind, to do what ought not to be done. They were filled with all manner of unrighteousness, evil, covetousness, malice. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, maliciousness. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, haughty, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, foolish, faithless, heartless, and ruthless. Though they know God's righteous decree that those who practice such things deserve to die, they not only do them, but give approval to those who practice them." I know people will say, "I don't do those things," and many do not. But be careful, because Paul writes something at the end of this that I see a lot of today. I see and hear people approving of errant behavior, using the excuse that we cannot be judgmental. It has nothing to do with being judgmental. It has to do with doing what is right. He echoes this same warning in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 3, with one difference. Here he relates it to the end of the age. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people. The last verse in chapter 1 is the real kicker, to use an old expression. He ends with the same admonition he used in his letter to the Romans, with a little extra. He says they know better, but they choose to ignore the righteous decrees of Jehovah and continue on down the path of destruction. There is a path that leads to life. Why don't we endeavor to travel that one for a change? Wouldn't that be something? Thank you for watching. And I want to take a moment here to wish all of you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Take time to be with your family and your loved ones around the table. Remember to give thanks for all the blessings that God has given us in the day and time that we live. And remember also, give love and give life and give Jesus.
We hope you have enjoyed today's Daily Bread. Join us again next week